And pleased to be joined now with our bi-weekly United Way updates. Special guest this time from the United Way, Stephanie, campaign coordinator. Welcome back to the show, Steph.
Hi there. Happy to be here.
Oh, great to have you here. And it is March, and Juliet and I, over the last couple of editions of this segment, have been teasing Tampon Tuesday. It's actually a month-long campaign. And I know this is a project that you work very hard on every year. So let's start with all of that and talk about your work on this campaign. It began several years ago, bringing it to the area. Talk to us about Tampon Tuesday, what it's all about.
Yeah, so Tampon Tuesday, yeah, we started it 2 years ago. And it was a tiny little campaign that we were asking people just to bring donations of menstrual hygiene products to our office. Um, and we have since grown it into this, month-long campaign that sort of puts a focus on menstrual hygiene. And the reason that we do that is that it's sort of links to a larger Tampon Tuesday initiative. So different United Ways across Canada are around this time running similar campaigns in their communities. And so we're all prioritizing menstrual hygiene for around the month of March, around International Women's Day, to have sort of a national impact, but on a local scale. So, sorry, a national scale and a local impact. So all of us run these campaigns independently. They are all funded independently, and we choose and work with local organizations who receive those products, all within our own communities. But we're all sort of attached to a larger message of period poverty and sort of addressing the stigmas around that, and collecting donations for something that sometimes people don't think to donate.
Absolutely. So lots to dive into there, and let's start with those myths and stigmas. Obviously, it's something that 50% of the population will deal with for a good part of their lives, but there is sort of a taboo on talking about it. Obviously, that's a stigma that we're reducing already, but there's still a lot of work to go. So maybe talk a little bit about that and your message to the community when it comes to the stigma about that.
I think, in terms of stigmas around talking about it, I think there has been a lot of positive uptick, not just from this campaign, but just online culture in general, being a little bit more direct about the things that we deal with in our daily lives. But I think a lot of times we don't really take the time to think about how much it costs to keep up with having that sort of monthly cycle and the products that are needed to sort of support that. And so, some of those stats are that will say, like, an individual can spend up to $6,000 in their lifetime on pads, tampons, or whatever it is that they prefer to use. But there's also other alarming stats where, I think it was Plan Canada who did a study to find that like 34% of Canadians who menstruate have had to make budgetary sacrifices to be able to afford these products. And these aren't really the types of products that you can just not have, because there's a direct, if you don't have them, you're kind of stuck. You're kind of stuck at home. You can't really go to work. You can't do much. And then another stat that I recently found that was actually shared by the United Way Kingston was that 22% of people who were part of that survey admitted to using the products longer than it was safe to. So I think, we've talked a lot about, the needs around, having sort of menstruation and what people go through. But I think oftentimes we forget about the costs when it's something that we don't have to worry about month to month. But the truth is a lot of people are worrying about it. We're just not talking about that part of it.
Oh, absolutely. And we're seeing the cost of living go up. So we know that this is a problem that's probably getting worse, not getting better. Those stats really put it in perspective. But on a human level, you can almost picture it where you have somebody in a store holding a box of product and holding some food and having to make a very difficult decision.
Well, that's just it. How do you, if you're in the position of a single mother or as a student, how do you choose between, food and a necessary expense for your own health? That is something that, is a predictable thing that you may get month to month. So it's sometimes it's just hard to keep up. with that cost. And like you said, with cost of living, we're often talking about different food types going up in price, whether it's eggs or bread or meats. And all of that affects everything. It's a domino effect in our lives where you have to make sacrifices in other spots. And so, yeah, it can lead to a lot of people having to use unsafe methods to make up for the fact that they chose food over those products, or it can mean that people have to miss work because they literally cannot leave their home.
Absolutely, and obviously, this is a campaign raising awareness about this, and we've just done so. We've talked a lot about it, but there is obviously a component to try to address the issue as best we can as well, and that is the I'm going to call it the fundraising component, but it's sort of a drive as well, collecting product, but monetary donations as well. And again, that's grown year over year, and you have a lot of participating businesses. Talk to me about this year's campaign so far. Obviously, it's already started, and it's throughout the month of March.
Yeah, so we've managed to get bigger again this year, which is really exciting. We have about 10 plus locations that are collection sites. So who have agreed to take a box and to place it in their business or sort of in their organization to help us collect those products. Some of them are the Benson Center, the Aquatic Center, City Hall, but there's also a lot of local businesses as well. So you can find those on our website at unitedwaysdg.com. But if you're not going out, there are ways to give virtually. We actually just received a package today through Amazon. So we created an Amazon wish list, and you can donate. Just choose the products on our wish list and it comes directly to our office. So we just received a package right before this call with that. And then you can also donate money where we would buy products on your behalf for those organizations. So, and then we're also, again, this year ending it with a Stuff the Bus. And I think they're going to give us a bigger bus. So it means I think we're going to have to put a little bit more community effort into stuffing it this year. But on Tuesday, March 28th, we're asking everyone again to come visit us at the Shoppers Drug Mart on Brookdale. And we'll be there to collect products and to try to stuff that bus again this year to grow where we were last year. So last year we had collected 1,000 products and nearly $3,000. And so we're hoping to beat that this year.
Oh, absolutely. And I have no doubt that we can. And it's probably good news that they've given a bigger bus because that means they saw the need last year that not only is the need growing, but the generosity of the community continues to grow as well. I remember being down there and a big shipment arriving from, I believe it was the Rotary Club, and just the community support is fantastic. And let's talk about the local impact of that because you mentioned it at the top of the interview, the local impact of this campaign. And talk to me about where last year's all those products went, where this year's will go, and how it will end up obviously helping those that need them the most.
Yeah, so last year we donated to 15 organizations across Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry, and Cornwall and Akwesasne. So some of those included, Agape, Baldwin House, Community Food Share, which is based in Morrisburg and Winchester, Naomi House, which is in Winchester, Maison Interlude, a couple of different health organizations, I think the Children's Aid Society. So, and a couple of different, like the Cornwall Youth Hub and some youth-focused organizations. So our goal with sort of the distribution of the products is to get them to as many different types of organizations that work with many different audiences, because this isn't just one demographic who is in need of these products. It sort of spans anyone who might be at a food bank or who might be at a health organization or who might be at a women's shelter. So it's our hope to sort of touch every corner of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry, but also different types of organizations that address different community needs. And so this year, obviously, we will be asking those same partners again, depending on how much product we receive, if they're in need of donations and potentially even growing that list. So we'll definitely share that sort of near the end, but that's the thinking behind of the organizations that we donate to.
Oh, fantastic, and such a great way to give back like this, but it's great to know all these products. Again, when you make that donation, it's all going to go, it could stay in the community, go right back into the community and help those in our community that need it most. So we definitely encourage everybody, now is the time to donate this month, whether you go to one of the businesses, participating businesses, if you go to those city facilities, if you donate online, or you support the Stuff the Bus event. But maybe we could just finish off with a reminder that, again, the importance of this campaign, we're trying to raise as much as we can this month, but hopefully this stays with people throughout the year when they're making their donations. A lot of people, donate food to a food bank or donate other things to different, they don't always think to donate these products. So this is something that could be top of mind year round as well.
Yes, for sure. I think, we're sort of making it the priority in March, but obviously it's more than 1 month that this is a need. So it's always great to sort of call up different organizations and see what products they're missing or what they're hoping for, and sort of filling in those gaps. But our hope with this program is at least it gives a bunch of organizations a good amount to keep them going for a bit.
Absolutely, and as we mentioned, this is a big focus for you and the United Way this month, but it's not the only thing on the horizon, and we could just finish off with a separate topic, which is CIF funding, which is coming down over the next couple of weeks and months.
Yeah, so for CSRF, the applications closed February 21st. So they're currently in the review process at the moment with Jan, who is our community investment coordinator, and the allocations team. And hoping that announcements will be early summer of where that funding will go.
Perfect. And I believe the traditional funding will be, the allocations, applications will be opening up as well soon.
Yes, so we are going to be opening up our traditional funding, our sort of annual community investment fund applications this week. So the application form will be on our website as of Wednesday. So if you're a charity or you think you have a program that would fit sort of within our pillars of community, youth, and from poverty to possibility, definitely take a look, see if it works for you, and sort of we're happy to receive those applications across the community.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us today, Stephanie. We wish you the best of luck with, of course, these funding programs, but as well Tampon Tuesday. Again, it's been a big success and it continues to grow, so we know that this year will be no different. So best of luck with that initiative. And once again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.